Hey, it's Nutzi, and today I want to talk to you about a quote from Dr. David Hawkins. He's the one who mapped the levels of consciousness, or kind of put them in a linear type format so we could have a basis for our understanding. And he says that when you're wanting to create something in your life, you need to hold the desired outcome, and then you need to quiet your mind. And Neville Goddard says the same thing. He talks about you need to feel the feelings of your future that you want to create, and don't get caught up in the weeds of how you're going to get there. Dr. Joe Dispenza, I'm a student of his, and he really teaches the same thing. You know, if you want to change your personality or your personal reality, you have to change your personality. So you can't continue to think the same way that you've always thought and do the same things that you've always done. And so what I have been doing that has been helpful, because I think a lot of times when we're trying to do something, like let's say you want to create a YouTube channel like I did, I felt very strongly that that was something I was supposed to do, but I had no idea, where to begin or how to even do it. So I would just hold that thought of my YouTube channel and what that would feel like in my heart and in my mind. And, it was exhilarating and it was fulfilling and it was exciting. And, I wanted to be generous and give things for free. And I wanted to, make an impact in people's lives. So I created that feeling literally in my heart, and I wouldn't allow my mind to get caught in the weeds of how I was going to get there. And so a lot of times what I would do, or I still do when I'm trying to create something new in my life, is when I'll do my breath work first, and then I'll go outside, usually in the early morning, and I will walk as my future self. And this is something that if you're involved in Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, he has these walking meditations that are very valuable. But I started to do my own. And so I put on a piece of music that is just, inspiring, or a lot of times I won't even have any music because it's so quiet out, and I'm the only one out there in my neighborhood and it's so dark. But what I'll do is I will hold that feeling of what it is that I'm trying to create, instead of trying to forecast how I'm going to get there. We do that a lot of times. Like when we want something, we think, how am I going to make this happen? Well, as Dr. Joe says, and as Neville Goddard says, and as Dr. Hawkins talks about, when you are in longing and wanting of it, that causes you to be separate from it. So I'll go out and I will, when I was thinking about doing a YouTube video, channel, when I was really like contemplating and feeling like that was a direction that I was supposed to go in, instead of thinking, oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't have a camera. I don't have any experience. I have no software, no lighting. Instead of getting caught in the weeds, I really felt like, okay, what is the desired outcome? And the desired outcome was for me to have fulfillment and be able to share with people and give people some valuable information for free that would have an impact on their life. And so, it gave me a sense of freedom and excitement and exhilaration and, something new, like an adventure. And so I would hold that in my heart as I would go out and do this walking meditation. Not how I was going to get there, not steps 1 through 3 or 1 through 43. I would just hold the feeling of like, wow, if I could really make an impact on people's life, and it would just make my heart feel full and I would feel excited. And so I just did that morning after morning after morning after morning. And what began to happen is I began to have these synchronicities and divine appointments and ideas, because when we hold that thought in our heart, instead of thinking with our mind, then we'll get inspired action instead of forced action. I've been very good my entire life at forcing action. Like, if I want something done, I used to say, hey, I will get it done if I have to get an act of Congress to go through. So I'm very good at like pointing myself in a direction and forcing the outcome. This is a totally different way of doing it, and it breeds so much freedom and excitement and adventure. And I was talking to my friend Diane recently, and the word for me is freedom. Like, I really don't like to feel hemmed in or trapped or forced. So for freedom is a big, big word for me. So I practice a lot on creating freedom in my heart. I don't know how it's going to manifest. I don't know what the changes are. I don't even care. I just want freedom. So like sometimes when I walk through the school, I'll get on the swing set, and I'll just swing. And it's like such a sense of freedom. And I've done a ripcord. And so I'll remember what that feels like, that sense of freedom and adventure. And I'll practice those feelings. And then what happens, then we draw those experiences to us, because if we pour water out on the earth, water seeks its own level. And so if I create a sense of freedom and adventure in my heart, then I draw to me, or I end up going to things that cause me to be free. Now, there's a very subtle differentiation between having a goal and knowing the steps and creating inspired action. So it's a short one today. I hope this resonates with you, because it's been very powerful for me to release the pressure off of me of having to have all of the answers before I start a new adventure, because sometimes that seems so overwhelming. So if this resonates, I really would love to hear from you. It would mean a lot to me. To know that this is something that you're going to try, or maybe you have an idea of some things that you're doing now. But anyway, please reach out and click the like, subscribe, and the notification bell. So until next time, be inspired and hold those feelings in your heart. Be blessed.